Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard Flight 2026, destination, a better version of myself. Today's projected travel time is approximately 5 to 7 minutes, with mild turbulence expected around topics of discipline, self-improvement, student debt, and a level of unprofessionalism that would almost certainly get me removed from LR if properly reviewed. At this time, we ask that all passengers fasten their metaphorical seatbelts, place tray tables in the upright position, and prepare for departure. Our route today will take us through one central question. If life is about improvement, how do we win?
But first, every philosophical undertaking requires a worthy medium through which to communicate ideas of tremendous intellectual consequence. Can you guess what today's medium is? That's right, it's PowerPoint. Yes, the very same technology that brought us quarterly earnings reports, middle school volcano projects, and the finest accidental naps ever taken between particle board and fluorescent lighting. With today's instruments, we will attempt to engineer the ideal, well-rounded human being. Alright, when it comes to personal growth, I believe it was Plato who once said,
Bro, you're running a copper throw build, log in, quit rolling rotates. You're gonna get slammed the second they hard breach site and swing main.
one of his lesser known quotes admittedly, but I believe he was platinum in Siege at the time. But the principle still remains timeless. If improvement is the goal, and a person can be understood as a kind of build, quote unquote, then the obvious question becomes what kind of build should we pursue? Every person, knowingly or non-knowingly, is running one. Some people invest heavily into a single attribute while neglecting others. This can create powerful but deeply flawed characters. For example, got the librarian build, maxed out intelligence, debatable sunlight tolerance, cannot make eye contact. We got the gym build, supreme strength, but mortal weakness, inability to open PDF files. We've got the corporate build, excellent income, hasn't felt joy since 2019. We've got the free spirit build, deeply creative, pays rent on vibes alone. I believe it is wiser to pick a well-rounded character built for the entire game. Let's get into it. We are going to cover a lot of details, and so we will accompany this PowerPoint with, that's right, a classic numbered list. Section 1, personal build, fitness attribute. Now that we've discussed the dangers of becoming a corporate slave or library hermit, we can invest points into the first major stat, fitness. To me, fitness is not just about appearance, though I have enjoyed the more gratifying aspects associated with it. Fitness builds discipline and mental clarity. A weak foundation makes every other goal harder, so this is where I want to begin. I want to learn or develop the discipline to exercise in some form or another, at least 5 days a week, for the rest of my life, while also working towards achieving a planche, which is holding the body parallel to the ground while using only the hands and taking control of the power of gravity itself and bending it to my will. What I need to learn is consistency. This matters because regular exercise improves mental health, reduces stress, and builds self-respect. This makes that emotional space for the other learning goals to flourish, while the planche is that good reward of self-confidence that allows the consistency goal to continue. The steps for both of these are simple and brutal. Build and maintain a weekly routine, track progress over time, find unique ways of making my body hurt to keep that good torture novel and exciting. Resources may include gyms, workout plans, training apps, equipment like parallettes, and ideally weather less than 10,000 degrees. Obstacles include laziness and gravity. Plain and simple. I can overcome these by believing my value as a person is innately tied to the size of my muscles and the weight of objects I can lift, along with, I suppose, discipline and self-love. Artifacts I might collect include workout logs, the will to live, strength milestones, and hundreds of terabytes of progress photos doomed to never see the light of day. These two goals build different strengths. The 5 days a week goal teaches lifelong consistency, and the planche teaches mastery through discipline. One builds habit, and one looks really cool and justifies me doing the first one. Section 2, academic build, writing, and thought attribute. With the body under construction, we now move on to the next stat, the mind. History has shown that thought without action becomes a podcast, and strength without thought becomes a Joe Rogan podcast. Ideally, we pursue a balance. My first goal is to complete a publishable, pre-written Dungeons & Dragons adventure. This matters because good writing is organized imagination. It requires storytelling structure, editing, world building, and the rare ability to finish what was once a good, fun idea. To do this, I need to learn how to cut content and remove all 6 lovingly crafted pages of entirely unnecessary lore, detailing the ancient migratory patterns and origins of my fantasy frogbirds, the ceremonial reeds used in their midsummer hatchfest, and the subtle but meaningful events behind how their river village councils learn to express disapproval through synchronized croaking and other resources include writing guides, playtest groups, feedback from angry friends, and caffeine deployed irresponsibly. Obstacles include procrastination, perfectionism, and inventing side quests instead of finishing the main quest. Luckily, these can all be overcome by giving up and sending it off to a damn editor. Artifacts would include outlines, maps, drafts, feedback notes, and hopefully something strangers will pay money for. Yeah. Number 2. My second goal is to become proficient in modern philosophy. This matters because philosophy trains judgment, reasoning, and the ability to ask better questions than, wow, great discussion post. What was your favorite part? I want to study schools of thought that examine ethics, identity, freedom, meaning, and how society should function when everyone is clearly improvising. God, it's scary out here. The steps include resisting the urge to confuse complexity with intelligence and loudly arguing with other stuck-ups about something neither of us are qualified to discuss. Resources include everything but the kitchen sink, with obstacles mostly revolving around reading and pretending I understand something because I highlighted it. I can overcome these by reading slowly, also known as the only speed I can read at. Artifacts would include notes, essays, discussions, and uncontrollable swelling of untouchable ego. With any luck, these goals together will make me slightly wiser and only moderately insufferable. Final section, section 3, professional build. Having trained the body and troubled the mind, we arrive at the final stat, professional competence. Because no matter how enlightened, disciplined, or physically capable a person becomes, society eventually asks one deeply serious question. That's wonderful, but can you be employed? For my professional build, I chose to become a skilled cybersecurity professional and get a darn job and make some darn money. Wielding the skill to shield people and institutions from threats that move unseen through the wires of the modern world. This matters because groceries have become theoretical, and I would prefer my debit card not flinch when used. The job part is therefore critical. For this age of kingdoms, no longer guarded by stone walls alone, our infrastructure and private lives now rest within the vast invisible systems few truly understand. And so, I will learn the arts of coding and technical judgment through study and networking, armed with my MIS degree, certifications, and mentors. I will face a road of trials, technology shifting like desert sands, concepts dense and tangled, self-doubt ever present, and error messages written in dead tongues by forgotten machines. Yet these challenges, they may be overcome through patience, curiosity, and the oldest right known to defenders of systems consulting, the documents. Should I succeed, I will leave systems stronger and safer than when I found them, and perhaps earn the right to buy groceries without fear. To achieve this nonsense in a way that finds me work and money, I need to graduate, build a resume, interview well, network professionally, and become useful enough at someone's science paperwork. Resources include career fairs, LinkedIn internships, professors, and shameless persistence to pretend I know what I'm doing. Obstacles are as follows: competition, rejection, and jobs requesting 5 years of experience for entry-level enthusiasm. I will overcome these by applying anyway and refusing to be discouraged by corporate whimsy. Artifacts may include rejection letters, angry emails, and hopefully also paychecks, business cards, and the first moment I may ever say, "This one's on me, gang," at a restaurant. Together, these goals create balance. One is about service, skill, and responsibility. The other is about survival, and a lifetime diet of more than just noodles. Both in their way are patriotic.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the conclusion of our brief but ambitious journey. On behalf of myself and the entire crew, thank you for choosing Existential Growth Airlines, where the page sucks and the snacks are metaphorical. Please remain seated and be sure to collect all personal insights and loosely formed ambitions from the overhead compartment. We wish you a pleasant rest of your day and hope to see you again soon. Thank you.